what being a billionaire really looks like. Ooh, man.
This is what $100 million looks like. 100 million $1 bills. Look at it.
Ooh, I'm hype. I'm not just hyped for the video, but I'm also hyped for the editing because that is a really nice editing.
Okay, but
W editor.
watch this. This is what $100 billion looks like. Whoa. That's $100 billion.
Yo.
There's like 19 people on Earth that have this much money.
19 people on Earth have $100 billion. And you are probably not one of them. Ooh, man. Oh, L. Unless you are. Who am I to judge, right? I'm not. I don't know anything. I don't know shit.
Oh, and by the way, one of these guys just bought a house right up the road here in Washington, D.C. Remember when we did the
Mark Zuckerberg.
piles of cash? This is what $100,000 looked like when we did that visualization. So yeah, we're
You know, it's messed up because like people would kill for 100,000, bro. Look at inequality in a nutshell. Freaking inequality, bro.
in a whole different echelon now. I want to show you the lifestyles of people who are worth this much money versus this much money. So
Damn.
we've been talking to experts, interviewing people who work with the ultra wealthy to construct real world scenarios of what these people's lives look like, what kind of influence they have in society.
He's right behind the big guys.
To understand what and who they can buy.
Oh, and by the way, we're launching a media company. It's called New Press. It's going to be very different than anything you've ever seen. It's going to be about transparency, letting you have insight into our journalistic process and contribute to it.
Guys, it's crazy because like if you just really think about it, you know, a lot of people, they would do anything for just 1 million. Like I said, not even a million, like 500K, 400K, 200K, or I'm just gonna say like what, 100K, which doesn't like make you retire. It's not like FU money, right? But it is insane to me that like how everything is messed up, y'all.
Be a lot of people on the wait list. If you want to be one of them, go to newpress.com, sign up. You'll be the first to know when it launches and what we're up to. You can even help us design it. That's newpress.com. Okay, that's all.
So first up, let's start with $100 million. My name is Scott. I started a candy company and I grew it over many years, and I eventually sold it to a big, giant candy corporation. And because I started the company, I own most of it, and so I got a huge payout from this sale. Between that and a bunch of other investments over the years, I now have a net worth of $100 million.
Ooh, okay. He retired.
Wow, that's a big number. My primary residence is New York City.
That's already like the privilege of the privilege of the privilege of the privilege of the privilege. And you're not even in the conversation of the billionaires because you only start getting in the conversation of the billionaires once you have 10x that amount. And you've worked freaking probably like 10 years to get that amount if you started from nothing and you had this, like all the opportunities in the world and having to be the right person at the right time and working really hard and combining that with like leveraging yourself and doing all the crazy shit so that you have 100 mil and you're not even in a billion game. Not that you need to be in there because now you're freaking good. Like you don't have to worry about it, but like you're not even in a billion talk, bro. You're not even in the conversation, my G, my guy. You got to make 10x that to somewhat be in the conversation, to be a newborn of the billionaires. And then Elon Musk still has 800 times what you have if you have $1 billion. Dude, forget it.
Where 818 other centimillionaires live. Centimillionaires, it's like
Centimillionaires.
100 millionaires.
Ah.
I'll show you my New York City
$100 million millionaires?
house in just a second. But first, let's talk about my fortune and how I can spend it. Now, I can't actually spend my fortune right now because all of it is in the stock market. The upside to that is that
S&P 500.
it grows and grows. My portfolio grows.
Yeah, it grows and grows if there's no recession, there's no collapse. Because if it collapses, like 2008, for example, you're screwed. You're kind of screwed. I'm sorry, but yeah.
At 10% every year. So what if I just sell this $10 million return I got this year? This could fund some of my lifestyle. Ugh, but look at all these taxes.
Oof.
All in all, it's like 37% of that $10 million. I guess it still leaves me with $6.3 million to spend. And look, I didn't even have to touch my portfolio. I'm
37% of taxes?
still worth $100 million. Wait, is this video just tax calculations? No. Let's go find a house.
Okay, I want to buy myself a house. Let's go. Give me a house in the Bronx with $100 million. Front ocean house. Let's go.
My budget for a house is anywhere between $8 and $15 million.
Ooh, it's too much, bro. You don't need that much, man. But okay, you're rich. Fuck it. I don't care.
Which sources told us is common at this level. And even though I live in one of the most expensive and crowded cities on earth, with my budget, I can find a pretty sick house, I think. Okay, let's look around. Boy, there's some nice options here. How about this one? $8.5 million. This
Just 8.5, you know what I'm saying? Just because I want to be humble, because I'm humble. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not gonna act like I'm, super rich, everything. I'm just gonna be humble, just for today. Just for today.
nice apartment in Midtown Manhattan. The listing tells me that this is the epitome of refined living, a superior pre-war white glove cooperative.
Oh my god, he's so fancy. Fancy Richie. Oh, I muted it. Sorry.
4 bedrooms, 4 bath. This sun-kissed airy?
Sun-kissed? The fuck?
Airy?
Ari?
This sun-kissed airy is one of the crown jewels of the Tony Enclave. What is it? Am I reading like a different language? What is the Tony Enclave? I don't know what any of those words mean, sorry. But I do know that it has a semi-private elevator and is the perfect setting for alfresco entertaining. And me, 100 millionaire, I am super into alfresco entertaining.
Oh my god, guys, let me just put my face right to this side. But just y'all know I have $100 million, okay? Because I'm super rich. Y'all still know I have $100 million.
I mean, this is looking
Or matter of fact, let me place myself right here. Yeah.
like a pretty great house. It's got this super romantic painting above the mantle. And in addition to my real library, I also get a bathroom that kind of looks like one. By the way, this is only my primary residence.
Oh, okay, a bathroom that looks like a library. That is a library. That's because it's got a lot of knowledge. Because if you made $100 million, you have a lot of knowledge, okay? And then you have to read books whilst you are, like taking a dookie or a shit or whatever. Or, just doing your number 2 if you want to be more educated.
It's not my
Or taking your number 2. I don't know.
only home. I've got a couple vacation homes around the country and the world. This one in Miami, which is increasingly a playground for the ultra-rich, and this one in the south of France.
Yo, look at that beautiful thing. Beautiful thing.
And both of these have full-time housekeepers. Let's talk about my vacations. I visit these houses a couple times a year, but for my other vacations, I'll maybe go to the Hamptons because I love to watch polo.
Whoa.
There's this great polo match in July, and I buy a VIP ticket that will cost me only $3,500. Or
No, only $3,500. Yeah, okay.
lately I've been
Not my monthly salary.
getting into F1, and so maybe I'll go to the race in Monaco. I'll stay at this Hotel Heritage, Hermitage. I'll stay at the Hotel Hermitage Monte Carlo for just 22,000 euros a night, which is like $25,000 per night. Okay, let's get to the F1 race.
And the Monaco Grand Prix is underway.
Jeez.
That's the shit that I don't understand, y'all. Like, I don't need that much money to be happy, bro. Like, I don't know about y'all. I don't know what you think, but I don't need that much money. I don't need to be in Monte Carlo, like sitting next to the guys, like the Formula 1 guys, and like spending $50,000 a day just so I can be rich. Like, I feel like at this point, people do this because like they're trying to make more connections, like they're trying to find other individuals who are, at the same like level as they, I'm just gonna say, like financially at least. And then like they're trying to build networks and just trying to meet new people, because like at some point I feel like if you were that rich and you were super like you stacked up so much freaking money, you don't even know what to do with it. At some point it gets boring because you're gonna say like, oh, but you're gonna travel. Yeah, you can travel. You can travel to anywhere in the world, but at some point you're gonna get tired of traveling because you're gonna be like, dude, I just traveled for freaking 100 countries. I don't even know where to go anymore. The only place out of here is like going to Mars, and I cannot go to Mars. So you're gonna get tired of traveling to, because you need to have to do something. You're not gonna be sitting around just playing games all day, like unless you want to. But I think even that if you have all the money in the world and you don't even need to do this anymore, like you're gonna get yourself crazy. You're gonna be like, dude, what am I gonna do with my life? You know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't know. I don't need that much money to be happy, honestly. Like, of course, it's better to have it than not to have it. Of course, I'm not a hypocrite. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not a freaking hypocrite, but like, I don't need that much. Like, it's just too much money. You don't need that to be happy, bro. At least I don't need. I don't know about y'all. I don't need that.
Someone told me I needed to bring my swimsuit to the F1 race. I'm feeling a little overdressed. Food's great, chef. It's a great view. Let's get to the race. I'm planning on watching the F1 race from a private yacht. The ticket was $16,000. And look at the benefits here. I get
Damn, a private. Okay, dude.
to walk around in the pit. I get to meet the drivers. And I even get VIP tenders.
Money buys everything, unfortunately.
Oh.
It buys everything, guys. Y'all gonna say, oh, but it doesn't buy you health. Yeah, but the lack of money also doesn't buy you health. You know, say, oh, but if you die, money's not gonna give you, like your life back. Yes, duh. But like if you're broke and you die, being broke is not gonna help you to the fact that you died. So like it doesn't work. Like I don't know why y'all say this kind of shit. Like it does not work, bro. Money does solve, if not everything, because I don't want to be extreme, even though I'm almost being extreme, it almost solves everything, or solves almost everything. Almost everything. You know, if you have psychological problems, then that's on you. You know what I'm saying? But like most people, they are depressed because of the lack of money, because they work a job they hate, because they live a life that they are forced to live, because they have no resources, they don't have structure, they don't have options, they don't have time to think, they don't have anything. And then they're depressed, living at an endless cycle of, trauma and pain and all of this bullshit, and they don't know what to do, and they're tired and they're stressed, and all they needed is a little bit of money, not $100 million, but just a little bit, so that it could be a little bit well off, a little bit better off, better off. So I don't know what y'all think, but yeah, that's kind of how I think, man.
Oh, not that kind of tender. Just a fancy boat that brings me out to the yacht. Anyway, something's bothering me. Remember when I showed you I could sell off the returns that I made this year from my stocks and still come out with millions of dollars of cash to spend?
$6 million a year.
Well, I didn't really like having to sell off all
And that's on the safest investment, y'all.
those returns and then have to pay like over 30% in taxes. Me and everyone else you'll see in this video don't like to sell our portfolio, our assets, to get cash, because that triggers all of these taxes. It gives us less power in the companies we own. Instead, we like to get cash through a bunch of other ways, using
interest from fixed income funds, treasury bonds, dividends, rental income from real estate,
our vast fortune. My favorite trick is to go to the bank and to ask for a loan. Wait, what? I'm a super rich guy. Why do I need a loan? Well, let me show you. The bank will loan me a lot of money if I put my huge investment portfolio up for collateral, meaning they can come after it if I don't pay the loan back, or if I default or something.
You could use it, but this is kind of dangerous, dog. Like there has to be a limit to it, because if you leverage yourself, you actually run the risk of going bankrupt. Because it's basically what happened to FTX. They used it, not that he's gonna do with the FTX because that's his own money. That was a very bad example. But like Sam Bankman-Fried, he used the money, the clients or customers' money, as collateral, so he could leverage himself, and then the stock went down, or whatever the freaking thing that he was investing on went down, and then he blew everything up and he lost $30 billion, bro. You could do the exact same thing with your money. So like collateral is good, but it's not perfect. But okay, let's continue.
Okay, how much can I get in a loan? Well, according to the bank UBS, I could borrow up to 85% of the value of my investment portfolio, which remember is $100 million. So I could potentially get a loan for $85 million. Another bank.
Dude, this is good, but there are risks involved in here. You gotta be careful, because if you blow this money up, they're gonna take your money. So it's really not your money, dude. At the end of the day, it's like a little bit of like leverage, I would say, but not like stupid dumbass leverage, because they could take your money if they blew it all up.
Merrill Lynch says that they will give at least 50% of the value of your portfolio. But regardless, we're talking tens of millions of dollars that I can borrow and spend. And guess what? I pay zero taxes on this money because it's not income, it's technically debt. Okay, wait, but it's a loan. So I'm accruing interest, right? This isn't free money. I'm gonna have to pay
Exactly.
it back someday.
Exactly. You have to make more money than what you owe interest, which is not easy considering they're going to charge a super high interest rate.
And likely have to pay it back with post-tax money. So it's not free money. What's the deal here? Why am I doing this? Well, according to a lot of good reporting from the Wall Street Journal, people making $100 million or more can get quoted on an interest rate as low as 0.87%. Super low. In reality, today, under these conditions and with my net worth, let's just be really, really conservative and say that my interest rate on the loan is more like 5.9%. It's a lot higher than 1%. But watch what happens. This allows me to not have to touch my investment portfolio. I don't have to take out that $10 million of stocks and pay a bunch of taxes. And that is growing at 10% a year. Way more than the interest on this loan. Now watch what happens over time. This is the value of that $10 million left in my portfolio.
Yeah, but that's considering if everything goes well. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if something doesn't work out here, then he's got a little problem, you know, depending on how much he's borrowing and how much leverage he has. But it's a good strategy, y'all.
And
remember, this is all hypothetical and just my opinion because I have to put my opinion because this is a reaction channel video, so I gotta talk and overyap. Some people get mad because I overyap, but I have to overyap. This is the genre of the channel. So let's watch it. Let's keep watching it.
is how much I owe on.
And a lot of things I don't know and I'm still learning. So, you know, I might say something that's wrong, but it's because I'm trying to learn. So bear with me, okay? And I'm going to stop because we have to keep watching the video.
The loan I took out. That's a nice looking graph. My wealth is growing way faster than the interest on my loan is accruing. So this tax-free debt thing.
The bank is never going to lose the money. Y'all have to understand something. Whatever thing that they offer you, if you have $100 million and they want to give you like 85% of money to borrow, they are never going to lose money. Never. They're gonna take your money some way or another. They own the world, bro. That's what y'all gotta understand. They own the world. They understand the game. They own the game. They make the rules of the fucking game. So the last thing they're gonna do is like lose. You're not gonna be the smart guy saying, "Oh, I can have my money here as a collateral." They are never gonna lose that money. If you blow $85 million, it's all gone. They're gonna take their money from you, and they're not gonna lose that money.
Is awesome.
Like ever. They make the rules, bro. Unfortunately.
And it's one way that I will turn my net
But it's a nice strategy.
worth into spendable cash without having to sell off any of my stocks in my portfolio. Okay, no more tax math for now. I want to go buy some more stuff. It's time to talk about private jets and yachts. Sadly, I can't afford the private jet that I want. Womp womp. But this doesn't mean I don't fly private. These days, I can easily just...
Yeah, because a jet is probably like $50 million, I guess. It's not even worth it, right? Plus, you have to pay taxes. Plus, you have to pay petrol. I'm not sure if it's petrol that they use or gasoline, or I don't even know what fuels the tank of this thing here. But there's all these costs, right? And there's also the pilot, and there's also this. There's also maintenance. There's also, garage of the freaking thing, which is not a garage. There's another name for it, but I forgot right now. But yeah.
book a jet, like
An airport. It has to be in an airport, I guess. Oh my God, I'm talking so much. Let me shut up.
this one. It can take me from New York to Miami, and it only costs me $15,000. I can get from LA to Australia for $200,000 on this private jet. $200,000 seems like a lot, but let's compare it to the median net worth of a US household, which is $192,000. The median net worth of a household, not a person, a household. Spending $200,000
A household. Not a person, a household.
on this flight to Australia feels the same for me as a median household spending $384 for this ticket. Pretty doable for a flight to Australia. Now, I can get a better deal on these private flights if I pre-purchase a jet card like this. I fill it up with prepaid private jet hours. Prices range from $5,000 to $7,000
Is this an ad time
per hour for a small private jet and up to
or not?
$20,000 an hour for a bigger, longer range jet. Maybe someday I'll own my own private jet, but my budget of $10 million doesn't really get me the fancy one that I want. I'll opt to charter for now. What I can afford is a fairly large staff to run my life. I have 18 full-time staff members, and that's
Bro, he about to get food in his mouth. You know what I'm saying? Like, he needs the maid to put the like hold the fork for him, and then all he has to do is just open his mouth, and then the maid literally feeds him. He doesn't even have to do anything. He doesn't even have to walk. You know, people are gonna grab him, like literally grab him by his arm and by his legs, and they're just gonna walk for him because he doesn't have to do anything at all. Because the 18 staffs at this point, that's literally what you're getting, buddy.
A real number.
Matter of fact, 18 staff is so much that if you have a wife, they're letting your staff fuck your wife. Nah, just kidding, yeah.
Number of staff
Dumbass time. That was a dumbass time. I'm sorry. Let me be a grown up.
or people of this net worth from a Morgan Stanley report. I've got a personal driver, I've got a shopper, I've got a butler, a chef, a laundry person. I'm super into security, so I've got a head of security and a bunch of security guards. I have a personal handler who sets up all the logistics of stuff I want to do. Like I want to go yacht shopping this weekend. They're handling all of it. Oh, that's him now. Hey, Brad. Yeah, for the yacht show this weekend, can you make sure I get some VIP tenders? No, the real, the chicken ones. Oh,
Bro, come on, man.
I almost forgot, my most important staff members are the financial and legal experts who find the most clever ways to reduce how much taxes I have to pay. Which, my wealth manager, Jeff, keeps selling off all my stocks at a loss, and we're like losing money. Jeff, what are you doing back there?
Don't worry, Scott. This is called a wash sale and I know what I'm doing. You
Wash sale.
get back to yacht shopping.
He's closing the stocks at a drawdown. Damn.
Loss harvesting, wash sale. I don't understand it all. Jeff does though. Anyway, back to yacht shopping. Wow, look at these yachts. I'm actually sad to discover that I'm on the lower end of ultra wealth. So my yacht is actually not that fancy. It's not a super yacht, that's for sure. It looks more like this. It costs a little over $1 million. I might splurge and get this guy. Costs more like $6 million, but this is still pretty entry level.
Bro, this is insane, yo. This is a billionaire's game, bro.
Because at this point, yes, I've got loads of money. I can buy and travel and live how I want. But what separates me from the big dogs who we're about to see is yachts and private jets, but also influence in society. I do some donating. I donate a bunch of money to politics. I gave $900,000 to a PAC that supports the candidates that I hope will win. I also belong to the invite-only Aman Club, which I had to pay a $200,000 initiation fee for. My membership fee is $15,000 a year, and I get to rub shoulders with people way richer than me, like Bill Gates, and even the Kardashians show up every once in a while. But
Damn.
this isn't real influence. I'm kind of paying for access. It's nothing like we're gonna see once we cross the $1 billion mark.
Hey, since we're talking about money, can we take a minute to make sure that this video makes money so that our team can continue to work and our company can keep growing so we can keep making videos?
For sure, man. I'm here helping you out right here, man. You help me, I help you. You know what I'm saying?
All right, now let's
Is that 1 billion? 1 billion?
10x this and get to $1 billion.
Okay, now we're starting to talk. Now the video actually started, okay? Now we're starting to get into the game, bro. More or less, okay? The billion game, that's what I'm talking about. That's literally what I'm talking about.
Forbes says that there's about 3,000 people on Earth with this kind of money.
3,000 people on Earth. Out of 8 billion people, there's only 3,000 of them.
Hi, my name is Javier. I was a moderately wealthy guy for a while, but I randomly wrote a $200,000 check to a couple of young guys in Silicon Valley who had a startup idea. They gave me 4% equity in their company, and then their company blew up and is now worth $80 billion. After some dilution, my $200,000 check is now worth $1 billion. That's my net worth. So how do I get liquid cash to spend from my vast fortune?
Bro, that is actually insane, yo.
Well, I don't want to sell any of my stake in the tech company I invested.
So in a way, can we say that he was lucky to made 200,000 into $1 billion? Because he invested at the right company, at the right time, at the right circumstance. Something that he might have studied and everything, but we don't know what happens in the future, because there's a lot of startups who like fail miserably and then you lose all of your money. Can we say that he got lucky, even though he did the studies and everything, the research, the blah 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 blah? Can I say he got lucky or not? So In a way, becoming a millionaire means that you have to be somewhat lucky. Yeah, sure, you might have to work hard, blah, 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 all this BS. Great. But can I say you also got a little bit lucky or not? Or am I tripping? Because I don't know. I'm just asking a genuine question.
Because I have
What do you think?
voting rights. I can control how it is. In fact, like Scott, I don't want to sell any of my portfolio for cash. Instead, I will generate money other ways. I'll go back to the old debt trick that we saw with Scott. Even if I get a loan that's 2% of my vast
Damn.
portfolio, I'm looking at $20 million of tax-free cash, all without having to touch my portfolio, which continues to grow in the market at 10% a year.
And that's why the more money, the better. Because then it makes sense doing some shit like that. And also the fact that he has like $1 billion and that he can just use 2% of his portfolio to generate 20 million. He could do so many things with $20 million. He doesn't need to leverage himself so much because he could do so many things with $20 million. He's not going to compete with Elon Musk or the top 10 richest guys in the world because then he has to leverage that money even more and then risk him to going back to bankruptcy and going back to zero or, like drop down significantly. If he wants to play like the higher level, because the higher the level, the higher the risk to, like to make more and also lose more. So there's all these problems. So like, it's like the freaking entrepreneurial world is fucking insane to me, y'all. It's insane to me. But like, I wouldn't risk that much if I became a billionaire. There's no way. There's no need to, unless I was like super crazy. Am I super crazy? I don't know.
That $20 million that I didn't have to take out of my portfolio is just in the market, is growing nice and fast. And look, after 5 years, my portfolio has grown way more than the interest on this loan. I can easily pay back the loan right now and still have extra to spare. Okay, so let's talk houses. Where do I live? Of course, New York.
And the banks still are draining from you. It's still draining you out. You plus other people, because they are the ones that own the game. So you're not going to compete with the bank.
City where there's more billionaires than anywhere else in the world. I live up on the Upper East Side. Look at this beautiful home. 6 bedrooms, 17,000 square feet Manhattan apartment. It cost me $57.5 million. This was actually 2 huge multi-million-dollar houses that they combined into one. Just cuz. It's got a pool with my favorite inspirational quotes on the wall, a basketball court on the roof, but this is not my only home. It is one of 7 that I own, including my home in Aspen, in Lake Garda, Dubai, St. Bart's, and of course, downtown Paris. And look,
Let's go, Paris. Paris Hilton.
I finally own a private jet. Yes. No more chartering or prepaid flight cards. I've got my own private jet and it is sick. Look at this thing. Cost me $75 million and I have to pay $3 million a year just to maintain it. Like
I don't think I'd buy that with just 1 billion. Would you buy that with only that's a trigger word, only $1 billion? I think if I have like $10 billion, $5 billion, I would buy a jet. Like $7 billion, because like considering that this is gonna be like 7.5% of my total portfolio just on a jet, like unless this is gonna generate me some really good connections or like some really good opportunities of networking so that I can hopefully make more, I don't think this will be worth it. And even this, I think this is a super high investment, because if you were to sell it, you're gonna lose a lot of money when you sell this. I don't know. I might be tripping because what do I know, right? I'm just an idiot.
to pay
Broke. An idiot. And totally not a billionaire.
$135,000
So, yeah, I'm just here yapping.
just to store it in a hangar. I pay $600,000 a year on fuel and $45,000 just on like basic maintenance. Oh, and I have a full-time pilot and crew. I spend over $700,000 just to keep them retained as my full-time flight attendants. And I finally can buy a respectable yacht. Like, look at this one. It's 131 feet long. It's got a pool and a hot tub on the deck. It can carry 11 guests and 9 crew members. And like my PJ, I have to pay a full-time crew to run this thing year-round, even though I only use it a few times a year.
Let's go.
My vacations look pretty similar to Scott's. A lot of expensive VIP access, but just a little more elevated. Like, I paid $3 million to watch the Super Bowl in this suite with Taylor Swift and a bunch.
Oh, hi, Taylor Swift. How are you doing? How you doing?
bunch of other rich people. The difference between me and Scott is I get invited to stuff that I don't even have to pay for because we're kind of all a little bit post money at this point. Like the Monaco Yacht Show, they have an exclusive opening day. Scott was paying $2,200 for a ticket, but I'm one of the 200 people that they just invited to the VIP experience. And in fact, where Scott's vacations were about lavish, opulent hotels and experiences, I have kind of a different vibe.
Bro, this game is rigged, y'all. This game is freaking rigged, bro. Like, getting out of poverty is probably one of the hardest things for human to be, right? And then once you like higher up in that pyramid system, it's all about connections so that you can leverage yourself higher up in the game, you know, and then try to get richer and richer and further and further and further away from poverty and from the people who are on the bottom of the pyramid. And then it's all about that. It's all about that. Just doing your little thingies. You're doing your little thingies here and there to get higher and higher and higher and higher, and hoping that you don't make any mistakes so you go down. Bro.
I care mostly about privacy and security. In fact, the places I stay look a lot more like this from the street. Unassuming, not drawing any attention. But behind these walls, I've got everything I need for my vacation. My security team flew in a few days earlier to secure the property, and then I arrive with my butler, my chef, even my personal doctor is on site. I've got a dog walker who I pay to just hang out with my dog, and of course my luxury
A dog.
travel coordinator who just zipped into town to connect with the brand she's been
The dog has more care than, you know, humans.
communicating with. They're planning to come to my villa to set up my own personal store in one of the mini bedrooms so that I can browse the latest fashion without leaving my villa. By the way, that's a real example from our reporting. A family who did this during one of their vacations and ended up spending $1.5 million on their little in-home designer store during their vacation. In fact, I want to super clarify that all of these examples are based on real reporting, real examples from our interviews with people who work with the ultra-rich. Many of them don't want to appear and be quoted in this video, but we're grateful that they let us in on some of these lifestyle details of how people live and travel at this wealth level. Anyway, I'm Javier. And at this point, it's hard to know what to spend my money on that Scott can't. Like, we can both buy a $91,000 shirt, which sales tax alone on
That's ugly.
this puppy is like $8,000.
But it's all about status, right? It's not even about being ugly. I think at this point, it's just about being status. I mean, having status.
$9 million painting. There's a few things that are out of reach for Scott that I can buy, maybe like this nearly $3 million bottle of whiskey. What I can do at this level is pay for hyper exclusive experiences, like paying my favorite band, the Eagles, to fly in and play me a show. I'll pay millions of dollars for this, and in fact, they've negotiated only playing Hotel California one time, but it was totally worth it. And yes, that $6 million private concert is a real example too. Anyway, let's go back to security, because now that I'm a billionaire, I'm a little more well known and my security team has grown. But I'm also starting to get a little more paranoid, thinking about how I'm planning for something apocalyptic.
Ooh. You know, Mark Zuckerberg, he has a bunker just in case there's war.
Rich people think about this a lot. What if we lose it all? My vast wealth is in the market, in the economy. And if order breaks down, it could be worth nothing. So I'm going to invest in some backup plans. A bunch of land in upstate New York. And in fact, I'm even working on a bunker. I love bunkers.
I just said about the bunkers because that's what these people do. You know, if you're super rich, you gotta build your own bunker just in case, you know, like war happens. Like they just start throwing bombs at people, just start killing people. You gotta be protected because you're a billionaire, you're special.
This thing's got
Bro, this is insane, y'all.
food storage, a decontamination shower, a high-tech air filtration system, 4 bedrooms, a hair salon, a shooting range. Listen, I'm not a prepper, but you know, just in case, and I've got the money to do it, why wouldn't I? I'm worth $1 billion, so at this point I kind of have an army of tax professionals optimizing my wealth so I can pay as few taxes as possible. And Congress just passed some legislation that's really helping me out on this. At this level, I start to get weird and creative with my money. Maybe I'll buy a hotel chain, or maybe I'll invest in bubbles. No,
In bubbles.
not those kind of bubbles. Bubbles is the name of my thoroughbred horse that I bought for $3 million.
Ooh, so cute. Good horsey.
I paid millions of dollars, and then I had to, of course, build a home and a bunch of stables for Bubbles, and I had to like get a trainer and feed and care and medical attention. It's a lot of money, but it's a business expense. And Bubbles is a depreciating asset on my balance sheet. I'm supposed to try to make a profit off of Bubbles, but really I'm doing it because on race day, I love showing up to watch him race. Get to hang out with my friends, spend some time at the track, throw a big party, and watch Bubbles race. Come on, boy, come on.
Kentucky Derby. And summer is tomorrow, and a great start it goes in.
Bubbles.
He's gonna lose it.
Who's it going to be?
Oh, he lost again. And
Bro, just spent $100 million just to see Bubbles lose the freaking game.
yes, I'm losing a lot of money on Bubbles, but honestly, I'm not that stressed because this is more of a hobby, and all of these losses I can write off to lower my tax bill. I'm actually doing this same kind of hobby thing on a much bigger scale. I bought an NBA team. I'm able to
Yo, let's go.
write these players off as depreciating assets, even though the team is growing and making money. All of this helps my tax rate be lower than the players who play for me, and even lower than the guy serving beer in the stands. ProPublica did a great analysis
The Billionaire Playbook, how sports owners use their teams to avoid millions in taxes.
on that, by the way. But yeah, anyway, all of this is legal. Like, I'm not breaking any rules. And honestly,
He's playing the game as it should be played, I guess. I don't know.
it's really fun.
Or to help his own interests.
And look, I have the best seats in the house. Oh, and by the way, I still pay a lot of taxes. My businesses pay corporate taxes and income taxes and payroll taxes and property taxes and sales taxes. I contribute massively in dollar terms, and my businesses generate huge amounts of tax revenue and jobs, and I took a risk in building my wealth. And when I sell or die, the government takes another giant cut. I'm paying plenty. And in fact, I'm paying so much that I'm gonna use some of my influence to try to change that.
Yo, what is this video turning into?
I've got my eye on a Senate candidate. I've contributed $20 million to his campaign to get him reelected, and he won. Yes! It's a few months later, and Congress is working on a bill. It could have big ramifications for my business and therefore my net worth. And so I'm gonna call in my favor to the senator who I donated so much money to help reelect. I need him to insert 8 words into this massive bill to allow my business to qualify for a huge deduction. He does it. Last second, and I just saved hundreds of millions of dollars in taxes. 20 million bucks to get this guy elected in exchange for hundreds of millions of dollars in savings? That sounds like a good investment. Thanks, Congress. My financial
Oh my god.
advisors have been telling me that it's time for me to not just be a rich person, but to become a
You know, it's cool that he's teaching us politics and entrepreneurship and investments and the whole money game in one video. Like, look at how much education we're getting from this video. I'm literally going to be a better man after this video. I'm literally going to be a smarter guy after this video, or at least I'll try to be.
philanthropist to give away my money and to save some taxes in the process. How about, let's see, what can I give away? Well, I've got this really nice art collection. An appraiser said that it was worth $130 million. I'm gonna donate this, but I'm not gonna donate it to like a public gallery. I'm gonna donate it to my own family's private nonprofit foundation. And as long as I make this art accessible to the public, I can write off the $130 million from my taxes over several years. Okay, so I have to make all this art accessible to get the tax write-off. What counts as accessible? Luckily, the IRS isn't super specific, so I've decided to open up the art room to the public, but just in kind of random 2-hour slots that you need a lottery to get an access to. There'll be only guided tours on random Wednesdays, no regular hours, no self-guided tours. That's accessible, right? I'm taking the tax write-off. That work, guys?
Nice approach.
Yo, what?
And yes, that is a real example of philanthropy really being vanity projects with no public benefit. Thanks again to ProPublica for their great reporting on it. Okay, moving on.
So basically, philanthropy is not really philanthropy. It's just for the sake of your own interests. Is that what he's saying?
Now, there are billionaires who give to real causes that benefit real people, who give away a large amount of their fortune to actually change the world for the better. But it's also very common for billionaires to use foundations and philanthropy as tax shelters and vanity projects. And the IRS doesn't really come down on these people very often. Oh, I just got an email saying I'm going to Switzerland. Because I donated to the presidential campaign, the president is assigning me to be the ambassador to Switzerland. And I know the president said that he wouldn't be appointing his donors to these types of roles, but here I am. Seems like a lot of us donors are getting appointed. This is great. Let's get the jet ready to go to Switzerland. So you can see that my fortune at this point buys me anything I want, but it's actually starting to be more and more about buying influence in society and politics.
Exactly. It feels like it's more about that than just, the business itself. I mean, unless you were to focus on just making more money and creating more businesses, right? Having more businesses. But that means you're risking more of your money. Because like, say you're going to invest 500 million. If you have $1 billion and you're investing 500 million to start a new bank or some type of industry, or say you're gonna create the next Tesla, for example. For example, you know what I'm saying? The next car brand or car company or some shit like that, or any type of like super ultra rich type of investment that you got to do to create. This is a risk that you're taking to hopefully try to make like $10 billion, $20 billion, 30, 40, 50, 70, 80, 100 billion, and then and compete with the top 10 guys in the world, the richest men in the world.
But this is just the beginning. Let's see what happens when we 100x this. Okay, things are about to get kind of nuts because we're about to 100x this pile. To go from one...
There's one guy I know, online, of course, that he has... Do y'all know this guy called Jim Simons? The guy who broke like Wall Street. I think he died at 88 years old with $31.4 billion, more or less. He donated almost all of it to charity. And he broke the game of the stock market, with algorithmic, algorithm stuff, like with trading and etc. And that's $31 billion, dog. It's still 30% of what he's going to talk about in this video, which is a lot. And that's at the age of 88, bro. Of course, there was less access to internet back then. I think that nowadays we have more access to things. So supposedly, say Jim Simons was born like he was younger and he had more time, and then he was more privileged to be positioned at a better time when there was the internet around, right? Maybe he would have made even more because the guy was a straight genius. He and the team. I don't know.
Billion
And he's just one of the examples.
to $100 billion.
Larry Ellison as well. Larry Ellison.
There's less than 20 people who have this much net worth.
Look. We just talked about this guy and then he's right here. Larry Ellison. Okay, Jeff. Elon, of course. Mark. Some other guys here, which I don't know the name of all of them. The boy himself, the man himself, Warren Buffett. Okay, this is the guy from NVIDIA, right? If I'm not mistaken. I don't know this other guys. This guy here is famous, but I forgot his name right now. And then a couple of other guys.
Or more. They're almost
And then a woman.
all Americans who started technology companies.
Okay.
Elon Musk, the world's richest man, has anywhere from 4 to 5.
Okay, let's see again.
Technology.
So Tesla, Meta, Dell, okay. Dell. Telecom, okay. Microsoft, all right. And then these people here, which he's not talking about. Microsoft, Google, Amazon, Oracle. Okay.
Companies. Elon Musk, the world's richest man, has anywhere from 4 to 5 times this much, depending on the day. And at this point, there's no way I can convince you how much money this is. Like, you would have to combine the incomes of over 7.5 million Americans toiling away, earning the median salary of $63,000 a year. 7.5 million people earning the amount of money controlled by one guy.
That is crazy. Let me go back.
Dollars a year. 7.5 million people.
7.5 million people. Okay.
earning the amount of money controlled by one guy.
And that's if they save up that money, because you can still make $63,000 a year. But if you're spending that, like for example, say you make $5,000 a month, but you're spending $5,000 a month, you're still not gonna be able to do it, because at least like to live somewhat comfortably, you need at least like what 2.5, 3K. If you wanna like live a little better, 4K. If you live like a decent good life, say you spend like 4K, you spend 4K and you have 1,000. So but at the end of the year, you have 12,000. You have 12,000. So you haven't, even though you generated 63,000, you saved up at the end of the day 12,000. He holds that kind of money, that kind of money, or that amount of money. That's crazy.
Hi, my name is Bradley. I founded a technology company decades ago, and it is now one of the most valuable companies on earth. I still run it actively, and most of my $100 billion fortune is in the form of a huge amount of stock in this company. How do I even think about where to live? I could go the direction of Indian billionaire Mukesh Ambani and build my own personal 27-story skyscraper, complete with a hanging
My own personal
garden and a 6th-floor garage where I can store 168 cars. Or I could collect a portfolio of trophy homes all over the world. I'll buy this one in Florida for $173 million. It's got 33 bedrooms and 39 bathrooms. That is a lot of toilets. I'll buy a spot in London, but I'll make sure to buy all the properties around it, so I've got a lot of privacy. That one cost me $202 million. I'll grab a bunch of property along this coastline in Malibu. I'll buy this private golf course next to my 19,000 square foot mansion, even though I don't really play golf. And I'll even pay $86 million for a Zen temple in Japan, because I'm super into Japan. Let's
a Zen temple in Japan.
add to the list buying this entire island of Lanai, Hawaii. All in all, my big portfolio of houses around the world adds up to about $2 billion worth of homes. But if I'm
Bro, that is so ridiculous, insane. Like, it's stupid money. It's like, it's not even like, it's just stupid money.
like Larry
It's like stupidly rich, bro. The guys are stupidly rich.
Ellison, whose homes all of those I just mentioned
Oh, Larry Ellison.
are, this isn't even 1% of my net worth. But I don't want to just buy homes.
Shoot.
Maybe I want to buy a social media company.
Our Johnny Harris, our next billionaire.
I'm really into influence right now. And
He may not be a billionaire, but he's super well off. The guy, he's got this. Trust me, he's got this.
influencing the media is a
Maybe he is a billionaire. Who knows?
great way to influence society. And this is where I can take the loan thing that we talked about earlier to a whole new level. Yes, I could sell a bunch of my stock to get cash to buy this social media company. Or I can do what Elon Musk did and take out a giant loan, billions of dollars, that I don't have to pay taxes on, that is based on my vast fortune. Musk was about to take out a loan
So that's what he does.
of $12.5 billion, but then ended up taking about half that to buy Twitter. And this is what's wild, is the loan thing, at this level, I can plan to just do this forever. I never have to pay off these loans. I never have to sell off any of my stock. I could keep paying down the interest so it doesn't compound, but even if I don't, my fortune grows way faster than this debt accrues. And the real benefit of this happens when I get close to the end of my life. It's been decades. I have all these loans. They've grown, accrued interest. My fortune has grown way faster. And at the end of my life, I could sell a bunch of my portfolio, get a bunch of cash, and pay off all my loans before I die, so I don't leave my children saddled with all my loans. But I don't want to do that, because I would have to pay a huge amount of taxes if I did. And if you haven't noticed, I don't like taxes. My goal now, as I get close to the end of my life, is to set my family up to inherit my vast fortune in the most advantageous way possible.
Imagine, okay. Imagine you're freaking, you're super rich. Imagine you have like $500 billion. Imagine the kids of Elon Musk. They're gonna inherit, almost $1 trillion. Say the guy dies a couple of years from now, right? And then they're gonna inherit. They're gonna be the richest people in the world, okay? And they have a huge start off, more than the whole population. They could literally turn $1 trillion into a freaking quadrillion, into $100 trillion, into buying the whole world. But if like they're not gonna be able to buy the whole world because there's too much control, and the governments are not gonna allow that thing to happen because like at some point it's about influence and power, and now it's gonna start a war again because they're gonna try to buy the earth. And like the governments and people are not gonna let them buy the earth because people are trying to survive. So like, am I tripping? I think I'm going crazy.
So I max out the gifting exemption. There's like $14 million I can do there, but that's like a drop in the bucket. I'll set up some trusts that technically remove control of my wealth and pays out a certain amount to the named beneficiaries, like my children and grandchildren, over a period of time, potentially forever. But watch this. My portfolio is a vast fortune that is mostly loaded with unrealized gains, meaning this is all money that has grown in the market. I haven't paid taxes on it yet because I haven't taken it out. The moment I take it out, I have to pay taxes. But what I can do is when I die, I can
Bro's so afraid of taxes, he'd rather die than to pay the taxes.
give this giant fortune to my daughter, let's say. And the moment I give it to her, boom, the clock resets. She inherits that fortune, and suddenly it's as if she has zero gains, meaning she could sell this entire portfolio on day one and pay no taxes.
But that's the thing, like he has to prepare the kids, bro. He has to prepare the kids to not mess up and completely go like blow up the whole money, the entire fortune. Because if the kids are not prepared for that kind of structure, they're gonna just freaking blow it all up, bro.
Unrealized, untaxed gains disappear, never to be taxed. And yes, there is a big estate tax that I have to pay when I die, but my army of wealth managers have figured out a way to buy an insurance policy that will pay that tax for me. Anyway, I'm not dead yet. Let's talk about yachts. Because at this point, at $100 billion, I can get the top of the line. Look at this 600-foot long, $600 million yacht. This thing has a crew of 80 people. It can cross the Atlantic without refueling. It's got a pool, a helipad, a movie theater, a golf training room, because I gotta practice my swing when I'm out in the Atlantic. I pay my crew super well. Many of my crew stay on board my yacht for years. Oh, and did I mention that it's not just the yacht? I also have this little shadow barge that follows my yacht around when we're out to sea. It carries extra fuel so we can be out on the water longer. It also keeps some of my car collection. Oh, what's
Oh my god, yo.
that? You're burning to hear about my car collection? I have 2,000 cars. This giant collection is worth around $200 million. It's kind of my hobby.
$200 million for that.
Another real example from this billionaire. And just when I thought I had the top
Yo, that is such a nice, beautiful car. If I had the chance, I'd get one of those. I'd get just one of those. I don't need 2,000 cars of those. I just need one of those.
of the line, there's something else I got my eye on.
Oh, the air yacht.
This super yacht airship crossover that's straight out of Star Trek. I want this thing. Especially because the article says that, quote, crossovers can be oodles of fun when done right. I want oodles of fun. My super yacht's starting to look boring because I have to stick to the sea. But with this crossover, I can go anywhere because it literally turns into a blimp and goes onto land, and
A blimp. You can own a blimp.
costs about $1 billion. And yes, it's got all the bells and whistles, a pool, a sauna, a gym, a helipad, tenders, and a nice big garage for my cars. And yeah, we gotta talk about my private jet. Oh, sorry, private jets. I have 3 of them and they're all huge. My favorite one is this one. This is the ACJ 350. It's got a cabin that's 167 feet long. Over 3,000 square feet of floor space on this sucker. I bought this thing for
Yo, that is crazy. Bro, I didn't even want to imagine this.
$360 million. And I spent another $100 million just to renovate the interior because I wanted a spa on board. I mean,
Yeah, that's crazy. That's stupid money, bro. Swear to God, this is just straight up stupid money for me. Like, there's no way. There's no way. No way, y'all.
totally worth it, right? Oh, and on a more grave note, I had to make a deal with my pilot that in case of the apocalypse, which I think about a lot, I'll let him and his family come with me to my compound. Like if we have to escape, I need to guarantee that I have a pilot to fly me away in case like the mob comes knocking. Where will I fly?
Zombie apocalypse.
Oh, I've got some options. I've got bunkers all over the place. Some of them have airstrips, so I can just fly right to them. My favorite one is in New Zealand, where a lot of us ultra wealthy are burying bunkers. This thing is buried underground. It's got a pantry, a gun room, a surgery station. This thing only cost me $8 million to build, but that's not including the
It really is not that expensive if you think about it. If you're that kind of guy who owns that kind of money, it's actually worth it.
couple $1,000,000 I had to invest in New Zealand for several years to qualify for an investor visa. So they'll like let me into their airspace.
Whoa.
My other bunkers include huge pieces of land in Hawaii, where I have a huge full-time staff, including a person who raises my Wagyu cattle. Just like my buddy Mark Z, he's got one too. We love Wagyu and hydrofoils. When I say and hydrofoils, cut to him on the hydrofoil out in the... We got this, Mark. Okay, but I'm not all doom and gloom apocalyptic. It's just a backup plan. I have hobbies too, but my hobbies have turned into kind of reality bending projects.
Bro, this is a crazy video. This is such a complex, informative, super intelligent video. My brain's not keeping up. I'm too dumb for this.
Like, I want to go to space.
I feel super connected to love.
I want to create my own libertarian nation in the South Pacific. I've got the money to do it. I have like more money than a lot of nations. Or I could throw my money at wild, innovative ideas like making human brains talk to computers or finding ways for humans to live forever. My security.
Oh my god, no. Yo, let me ask y'all, would you want to live forever? I don't know. I feel like now that I see a lot of bullshit in the world, I feel like when we die, it's actually a blessing when you die. Not gonna lie to you, because we suffer so much in this life that I do believe that getting out of this place, it's actually really good. And not like suicide, like not that. Like that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about like the natural course and span of life. It is a blessing because it's only problems for the most part. If you're not at top 0.1% of society, in the world, you are going to struggle most of your life, most of the time, for the most amount of time until you're gone. I don't know. Would you want to live forever?
Team is now huge, dozens and dozens of professionals, many of them former Navy SEALs. And it's hitting me that at this level, I have so much money, I can actually make a huge impact in the world. I have the ability to give away over $19 billion of my wealth, no strings attached, to help change the lives of underrepresented
No strings attached.
people like Jeff Bezos' ex-wife did. I could put billions of dollars into
Okay, what?
dollars of my wealth, no strings attached, to help change the lives of underrepresented people like Jeff Bezos' ex-wife did. I could put billions of dollars into eradicating infectious diseases and focusing on improving maternal and child health funding like Bill and Melinda Gates have done. It's a lot of power that I have to affect what public health initiatives get done. Or I could pour my philanthropic money into foundations that get me tax benefits and serve my own ventures and are completely controlled by me and my family. I could do either. And my level of influence is not just in the philanthropic causes I can fund. I also rub shoulders with the most influential decision makers in the world. Did I mention that as a part of my real estate portfolio, I've got this huge swath of beach in Florida where I've created an enclave for the rich. It's right next to the president's Florida residence, and it's where I make sure that I rub shoulders with the right people. This election
Yo, this is insane, yo.
cycle, I'm going to spend almost $300 million on getting my favorite candidate elected to be president. That seems like a lot. Is that legal? Actually, yes. Look, I have a front row seat to the inauguration, and the president is giving me the job I've always wanted, which is taking a chainsaw to the federal government.
This
The chain.
is the chainsaw for bureaucracy. Chainsaw!
Wow, well that was quite the journey. If there's one thing I've learned on my journey from 100 million to $100 billion, it's that wealth begets more wealth. That's why I did all those like tax calculations and debt to show you that when you have wealth and ownership of assets in a capitalistic system, you become impervious. You can build a fortress of
Impervious.
wealth that just keeps growing. And then once you have that fortress, it allows you to influence government and policy and media that then serves your interests to get more wealth. All while opportunities, wages, and resources stagnate for the majority. This isn't a broken system. This is a system working exactly how it was designed by policy choices and decisions. And it might strike you as unfair. I think it is, but I also think it's really dangerous. It's exactly the type of concentration that creates a politics of grievance and anger and resentment and hopelessness, all so that a few people can have access to their fancy boats and exclusive parties.
Bro, yo, W video. Woo! That was a video, bro. That was a video. Yo, that was a nice video. That was a really beautiful, nice video. Johnny Harris, he's got brain. He's got knowledge. You know, it's like Ty Lopez said once, you know what I like more than having a Ferrari in my garage? Knowledge. And then this guy here, he's got the real knowledge, bro. He's got the real knowledge. Not Ty Lopez. Not that he doesn't have a knowledge as well. But Johnny Harris, he's got the real knowledge, if you know what I'm saying. Guy, bro, a fantastic video. Amazing, amazing. No words to say, like speechless after that one. Amazing, amazing video. Good video. Great video. Subscribe to Johnny Harris. Keep watching, study it. Amazing, amazing. And yeah, I mean, I don't know what to say. Like it was a lot of information. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you want me to react to other types of content, let me know, because we're here just, you know, like grinding this YouTube journey and trying to like express out my opinion. And, you know, a lot of the times I say a whole bunch of shit because I overyap too much. But, you know, that's part of the process, you know. And I'm learning. It's also not my native language. It's my second language, so I make a lot of mistakes, blah, blah, blah. But it's okay. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.